Hello, fifth grade, and welcome to lesson 4 entitled Zentangle CityScape. For this project, you are going to be learning how to create different patterns, as well as we're going to be reviewing warm colors and cool colors. This project is in lieu of the printmaking project that we're going to be doing here at school with face-to-face learners. So during these next couple weeks, you do not need to check into Google Meet because we're going to be printmaking here at school. I've chosen for you to do this lesson at home because printmaking supplies, ink, the rollers, the palettes are kind of tricky to get access to at home. So you're going to be doing something with more basic materials. However, for their printmaking project here at school, the face-to-face learners are also doing a CityScape. They're also going to be reviewing warm and cool colors. So it's sort of similar. This is just something a little bit more simplified that you can do at home. All right, so for this project, you are going to need an 8.5 by 10 or 11 sheet of drawing paper, white. Sketchbook paper is fine. You're going to need a pencil and an eraser. A ruler is helpful. And then black Sharpie markers. It's great if you can get a fine point tip one as well as a regular. And then for the color in the background, you have your choice of color materials. You may use crayon, colored pencils, or watercolor. So you have some options on how you would like to apply your warm colors to your sky and cool colors to the water. So I hope you enjoy designing and creating your Zentangle CityScape as you follow along for lesson 4.
All right, you're going to want to make sure that your paper is going horizontal. You're going to take your ruler and a little bit below halfway, so about 3 inches from the bottom, you're going to draw a straight line really lightly using pencil. This is going to divide our sky from our water. So this is what we call a horizon line. After you have completed sketching in or drawing your horizon line lightly, you are going to begin creating your city buildings. And you can be creative. You can use a ruler, or if you want to freehand it, that is totally fine as well. What's important is you want a variety of different heights, a variety of different widths, and you want to make sure that each of your buildings is touching. So you're going to share a line with your building. So basically there's no space in between. Notice that my next building touches the previous line to my previous building. So there's no space in between, except for some of them, you'll have some space because there's shorter buildings in between. But each building across your paper is touching. All right, so at this time, you're going to go ahead and start creating different sizes. Again, short ones, tall ones. You can put a pointy top at the top. You can get creative. Some students have even added a bridge, a church steeple. It's really up to you. You can be creative. But we want a variety. We don't want just the same size rectangle shape going all the way across. So part of your grade is creativity. Now you're going to take your Sharpie marker and you are going to outline your pencil lines of all of your buildings as neatly as you can. If you want to use the ruler so you can make sure your lines are straight, feel free, or if you feel comfortable freehanding it, you may. After you have outlined all of your buildings with Sharpie, you're going to take an eraser and erase all pencil lines so it's nice and clean. At this time, then you will want to reference your Google Classroom. Under your assignment are some examples of patterns. You may also think about different types of lines that you can use in your pattern. So think back to our first project when we studied different types of lines. and you are going to put a different pattern or line design in each building. If it's up to you, if you want to start out using Sharpie, or you can draw all your patterns first with pencil and then outline with Sharpie. I'm just feeling confident, so I'm just going to jump right in and create my designs, my Zentangle patterns and line designs with Sharpie. But again, if you want to do yours first with pencil and then outline them all with Sharpie, that is totally fine. So I'm filling my first building with a checkerboard pattern. We want to think about a balance between line work and filled in solid areas. So the checkerboard is a nice pattern because you have some filled in solid black. We don't want just line because we're trying to sort of create a balance of black and white throughout all of our buildings. So think about that as well. If you do fill in some areas solid, so maybe you will do stripes down the road or in a different building, you're going to want to make sure you're filling in nice and neat, nice and solid black. We shouldn't see any white spaces in those areas that you're filling in black. So take your time, do your best work, be creative with your patterns, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. And just to reiterate, your patterns do not need to match my patterns. This is where you're showing your creativity. So you come up with your own patterns. Obviously, you can use my patterns as inspiration, but I'm not expecting your buildings or your patterns to be an exact mimic of mine. Be creative with your own building designs, be creative with your own lines and pattern designs, as this is your own Zentangle cityscape. All right, once you have completed a different pattern or line design in each building, considering a balance of filled in solid areas versus line work, then you are ready to check out video number 2 for lesson number 4, Zentangle